Well, we're back. I'm so excited. I hope you got to catch my mini episode where I taught you some tips and tricks on ways to romanticize the mundane of your everyday life. So that kind of led into what we're going to talk about today, which is the art of low key winning. Why you don't always have to announce your glow up. So, what does low key winning actually mean? It is the power of silent success versus that public validation. So have you actually listened to yourself, like really listen to yourself? Why do we always seek that public validation? And maybe it has something to do with our generation so much being on social media and constantly looking for likes, constantly looking for that dopamine hit, because that's what happens, right? We get on our Instagrams, we get on our socials, and we get the comments, we get the likes, and then we kind of live for that little quick little high of feeling so great that somebody commented about this, that somebody said something about this. Somebody took the time to tap that picture and give you a little heart. But what actually happens when we silently succeed? Now, again, I've kind of talked about this in my intro. This is something I've struggled with is constantly posting content that I think would gain me likes or comments and like literally waiting there to have somebody click it, like it, refreshing the page to check and see. And then as I've gotten into this and I've actually gotten to sit with myself and learn a little bit more about what I actually want versus how I want to feel in the moment, it's kind of hit me like, why do I need that? Why am I doing this? And it was that constant kind of dopamine effect. Somebody likes me, somebody loves me. Again, somebody took time enough to say this, or there's a funny comment. And then I thought to myself, how much of this is actually real? How much of this is somebody just commenting just to comment? Or is this a real like? And why do I really need that? Why do I need somebody else's validation for a picture I took or a video of my kid or something at an event, something that I wore? Why did I need that? I know I was feeling myself when I took that picture, so that was for me. I don't think I need it for 400 other people who kind of know me to say, "Oh, you look pretty." Bitch, I knew I looked pretty. That's why I posted the picture. But trying to figure out why I actually needed proof of that, I mean, had me questioning and part of my journey, right? Why we're doing this. And again, as I've kind of researched, it's that dopamine hit. It's the same reason, people jump out of airplanes. You kind of get this high from it and it makes you feel so good. Now, same thing with drug addicts, different types of addicts, gambling addicts. You get that quick little hit, that quick little high, that moment of feeling good. But then what happens when the next picture doesn't get as many likes? What happens when your next jump doesn't feel as good? What happens if you don't get enough comments? Then we wind up going down this spiral. And I say we, but I'm talking for myself. But I think I've witnessed it enough to where people go down this like shaming spiral if they don't get the comments, the likes, the public validation they were seeking when they posted it. And it's awful. And I've thought about that too. Again, I do it. I'm guilty. So why do I shame myself or I get mad at myself or I have that ugly feeling in my stomach when I don't get the comments or likes or when a certain person doesn't comment or like, then I want to get all in my feels. And I had to tell myself to stop doing that. You felt really great, great enough to take a picture, take the time to get ready, get prepared, and then take this awesome picture only for you to feel horrible about it because a certain person didn't like it or you got 12 comments or likes versus 500. Come on now. Like I had to really pause and listen to myself. And, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll, I don't know. However that goes, had to sit there and think to myself, why are you feeling this way? What changed from here to there? What changed from preparation to post? And how do you feel about it? And then I think in that time I took to listen to myself, to question those things, it really brought me back down to earth, humbled me, and realized why I wanted to do this, what the bigger picture was, and how to fix it a little bit. And now you've kind of come to see some of my posts aren't perfect. I'm still a mess, but it was for me and it's what makes me happy. And I've seen this in my oldest daughter, right? 11 years old. She'll do the same thing. And I'm thinking, hey, see, that video you took was actually really, really good. Why are you being so hard on yourself because only 5 people liked it versus your last post? And, or maybe it was only mommy or daddy that liked it. And she's like, "Meh. Why? My parents. It's just my parents." So I told her that. And I was like, but you were really proud of that video. You were really proud of that post. You took the time to edit it. You took the time to be real with yourself. And I saw that smile when you created it, when you first showed me your draft. And then when you put it out in the world and only a few people liked it, she got all in her feels. And I said, no, ma'am, we are not going to do that. Enjoy that moment. Enjoy what you took. Enjoy your art because that's what you've created. Sometimes we have to do things on the low. It's not always about posting. I like to quote Lil Wayne on this, and this is a genius. I think one of the best lines I've ever heard in a song. G's move in silence like lasagna. One more time. G's move in silence like lasagna. Lil Wayne, genius. When I heard that line, mind blown. Why do we need people's 2 cents? You know what I mean? Your 2 cents ain't gonna pay my mortgage. Your 2 cents ain't gonna pay my water bill, my electricity. It's not gonna fill up my gas tank. So why do we keep looking for it? Keep your 2 cents out my wallet. I don't need it. I've got enough going on in my head to fill up my own, piggy bank. But why? Why do we always do that? I don't have the answer for that. Again, I've done some of my research and it goes back to the dopamine hits. We want to be liked. We want to be special. We want to feel special. We want to feel some type of way. But I think we need to start seeking self-validation. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? So it goes back to that. If I can't like my own outfit, my own move, right? Because we're making big girl moves these days. If I don't like the moves I'm making, why do I want your opinion? If I do like the moves I'm making, I should feel comfortable enough with myself to say, hell yeah, go girl. I don't need to post it for the world because I did it for me. And maybe I did it for my family. Maybe I did it for other reasons. But you gotta be that G in lasagna. Sometimes you just gotta move in silence. And you gotta keep people's 2 cents out your wallet because it ain't doing you no good. I'm being for real, for real. Manifest, meditate. There's no need to gloat about it. Just thrive and knowing your own validation is enough. People will notice your elevated vibe. Now, that is one of my favorite things about a glow up. We don't always have to announce it. We don't always have to post it because when they do see you, when they see you in real life, I already liked your picture, so why do I need to do this? Or she's gloating, or look how unhumble she is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta move in silence like that, G. Keep it to yourself. And then when you do see people in person or when you do post on social media, and I'm super guilty of this, I would post those gym pictures. I would take those mirror selfies, look at the inches I've lost, only to gain like 10 times more, and then feel miserable when I posted a picture because I felt like what I had posted before was so great, and then now I had let myself down. Well, I will tell you, I've been on the move. I've been on this weight loss journey. Yes, I am on Wegovy, but I'm also eating healthier. I'm exercising. I'm taking a lot of time for mental health these days, and I'm realizing that I don't need to post the gym selfie. I don't need to always post my workout, my perfect workout, because that's what I would do, right? The pretty sweat pictures, it ain't glamorous. I can't do burpees to save my life. And sometimes you will see those videos of my struggle burpees. You're gonna be like, not cute. But that's just the way you move in silence. And yes, I have lost 40 pounds, but I love when I go places and people actually notice the difference in me, in the way I move my body, in the way I walk, in the way I carry myself. That is the move. More than the inches that came off, more than the pounds that came off, more than the tape measure that goes around me. I feel so great these days, a lot healthier. And people notice that. People notice my glow up just from my vibe. We don't need all the selfie pictures. And yes, if you want to do that, go ahead. You do you, boo boo. If that's your tool, I'm all for it. But I'm just saying sometimes, keeping that low key win to yourself is so good for you. It can be enough and people will notice it. It's not like, you have to say it so you can get it, or you have to post it so you get those exact words from somebody or that one specific person. Some people are doing revenge bodies and they want that one specific ex or that one specific crush to come on and say, "Oh, you look great," or "You didn't look like that when I was with you." No, don't do that for them. You got that revenge body for you. Go out there. Let people notice your electricity. Let people notice your vibe because you get those dopamine hits simply from working out, going places, being new, trying something different. That is a vibe. Keep it up. You don't always have to announce your glow up. There's the myth that success equals constant social media updates. Now, we're learning this, right, as a generation growing up of what we post on the internet, what we put out there on the internet, that anytime we have a success, anytime we want to celebrate something, we have to post it. It's like we have to let the world know that this is real, this is happening. Now, good example of this because it's Coachella time. And I watched the Green Day concert, and I remember there was the part of the song or the part of their set where actually, Billy Joel actually had to tell the audience, "Hey, put your phone down for a second. I promise you, everyone's going to believe that you were at Coachella." Can you imagine that? Having to constantly update your feeds, update your Instagrams, and things like that just to prove that you were at this concert that you spent thousands of dollars to be at, to sleep in a effing tent. And you can't even enjoy Green Day. You have to post about it. You had to have the lead singer of the band tell you to put your phone down for a minute to enjoy their set. That's the kind of world we live in. So that's the myth I think that we're seeing, and influencers, that's your job. I get it. You have to post, you have to put this out there to get paid, to get that check. But when you're just out there enjoying Green Day, do we have to do that? Does it make you less successful if you're at Coachella and you don't post about it? I don't think so. I think you're still just as successful without having to post it, without having to get comments for it or get likes for it. Now, if that's a way you kind of measure success, I strongly suggest maybe sitting with yourself and finding a new way to measure your success. Did you get a promotion? Maybe you got VIP tickets from posting a lot of content, or maybe you're working with a new brand that's hooking you up a little bit more. Those are different ways we can validate success, we can measure success without having to post, 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 post. We get posting vomit, posting diarrhea almost, where it's like every second you've got to post every little thing. And again, guilty of it, not shaming you. It's just kind of the world we live in. And then it kind of sets that bar. And yes, we see influencers do it, but I think something we need to realize is these influencers, these celebrities, that's their job. If you're a normal person like myself, or you're just a Joe Schmo living your everyday life, maybe you don't have to post every second, and maybe you don't have to post every minute. And I see this a lot in the sports world. Again, I'm raising a all-star cheerleader, and I see it so much where people constantly post, constantly post. And again, I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not saying particular things, but do those constant posts, constant comments make you feel better or worse? How do you measure the success of your constant posts? Is it the number of likes? Is it the number of comments? And then I want you to think, who are you posting for? Are you posting for yourself? Are you posting for your athlete? I see it a lot in cheer, but I've also seen it a lot in different places. Track, volleyball, I've seen it a lot. And I always think to myself, I dabbled in dance, I dabbled in different things. My parents didn't really believe in sports. But coming up, if I were to post that much on MySpace, what would people think? It was totally different then. Did Mike Tyson have to constantly post his jabs, his knockouts? No, but we still believed he could knock a mofo out, you know? There was no doubting that. If I look back in the movies, if Rocky had to set up content to run up and down those damn stairs every time he did, would that make him less successful? Would that actually hinder him? And honestly, if I were Rocky and I had to set up a whole tripod, make sure nobody got in my shot, make sure it sounded great, do all the editing, that would take time away from my boxing. That would take time away from the actual art I want to produce. It takes time away from the ring. It takes time away from my success in the ring. It's exhausting just to constantly post. So yes, it's a big myth. And this is just my 2 cents. Hey, put it in your wallet or don't. We don't have to constantly post about it. You're successful even if you don't post it, even if you don't put it out there. You're still making moves. You're that silent G, you know what I mean? And again, if that's something you like to do you, boo boo. But I at least want you to sit with yourself and kind of figure out the why. Is it hindering you? Is it making you more successful? What is it doing for you or the person you're posting it for? What's it all about? And again, all tea, no shade, honey. So don't feel guilty about anything. This is just, and yes, I'm saying this to myself, don't feel guilty about it when you constantly post. Don't feel guilty about it, but try and figure out why. Is this making you happier? Is this making you sadder? Is this putting you in a spot to actually make you less successful? Food for thought. And again, that dopamine effect, man, we're always looking for it. We're always looking for that next hit, that next feel good. I'm looking at, even as I'm producing this podcast, I look at my analytics and I'm like, oh, there's only been 12 streams and this has kind of been out for 3 weeks now. Baby steps, yeah? Is it making me more successful to sit behind my MacBook and pout at the number of streams? Or would it be more successful to put my time into some research to see what people actually want to hear, they want to like, or maybe even get in touch with my audience? What do you want to see? What do you actually want to hear? That makes me successful. And that, how many times can I say successful today? And now I'm saying it so much I'm getting a lisp. But how many times can I post or be real, um, to make you, how do you help me help you? How do you help me help me? So it's one of those, I'll scratch your back kind of thing. So again, why do we always feel the need to announce everything? Why? Why? This doesn't even just go for social medias, right? I've got 3 kids in the house and they're all potty trained, but I swear I still hear, Mom, I gotta go pee. Mom, I gotta go poop. And I'm not naming names, right? My 3-year-old does this constantly. Mom, I'm going pee. Mom, I gotta go potty. Mom, I just pooped. And I'm thinking, why do I need to know? And I'm like, good job, high five. And I think that's what she was looking for mommy to say, good job, honey, high five, you went potty. So maybe it kind of starts there. I don't know, it starts in the womb, but we're always looking for that. We're always looking for that high five. But why do we need to announce it? Even with my older kids, I'm like, why do you need to announce that you're going upstairs to watch whatever you're watching? Why do I need to know that? That's great. I know where you're at. You're in the house. But do I need to know that you're watching? I don't know what they're Dance Moms. Oh God, it's been Dance Moms. So, hey mom, I'm watching episode 13 of Dance Moms and this one's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's great. Thank you. I'm glad they're comfortable enough to talk to me about it. Why do we have to feel the need to announce everything? Maybe they're looking for me to say something about Dance Moms because I think I've seen every episode twice. But anyways, so the dopamine hit I keep mentioning, the hit of likes, first is the real lasting fulfillment. And I think that's why we do this, why we keep announcing everything. How are we filling up our cups? And then when is holding on to that full cup enough, or do we hold it on too long to where we're hurting ourselves? I'm sure we've all seen the water bottle experiment where the college professor asks these students, hold on to this water bottle. Within the first few minutes, you can hold it. It's fine. No big deal. And I don't even think the glass is full all the way. Now imagine this glass of water is your post. Great. You put it out there. Or this is your information. You want everybody to know this about you. It's real. It's half full. Okay. Now, it didn't get the likes you want. Your glass is kind of filling up. You're still holding on to it. Well, it's filling up some more. It's been an hour. Arm's kind of getting tingly. Now, you hold on to this for 8 hours, 24 hours, a week. It's weighing you down. That dopamine you were looking for, and maybe you get a little bit of dopamine in it, and it drains a little bit. Your glass gets a little less full, but then it fills right back up, and then it gets less full. What are we looking for? What's real, and what is a highlight reel? That 10-second highlight reel of, ooh, this is perfect. This feels great. I'm a hot shot. That's great. But the real reality is you were so tired from filming that. You were so tired, Rocky, from rubbing up them down those damn steps, punching the air when you got there, having to do it 20 times to get the perfect shot. When in reality, you could have just done it once. People could have seen you walking by. You didn't need that stranger to yell, "Hey, you got it, man." Did it feel good in that minute? Yeah. Did it get you up a few steps? Yes. But did it get you all the way to the top? Nope. You have to do that for yourself. You have to validate something within you to get you to the top of those steps. Yeah? So always look for that likes dopamine hit, but think about what's real and what's your highlight reel. And I think something we need to do too is balance transparency with protecting your energy. I am very transparent. I'm very honest. You've seen here, I'm guilty of a lot of these things that I'm talking about. And I want to be transparent, but I also want to protect my energy. I don't want somebody to say, "Hey, yo, Mel G, I saw you post that and blah, 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 blah," and you start ragging on me, and this was bad. And let me tell you what, you didn't edit all the ums and uhs and pauses out of it. And then I'm like, oh, my high is going from here. I get knocked down notches. So I want to be transparent with you, but also I'm protecting my energy. And again, you should too, as I'm talking about these things. If you are one of these people who constantly posts, who constantly seeks that validation, great. Keep your energy. I want you to hold on to that positivity, but I also want you to dive a little deeper and figure out why maybe you're doing this. Why maybe you said it this way. Why did you use that tone in your voice? I don't know. And this goes beyond. This is can go you in the gym, you in the office, you at home, your marriage, your life. I just want you to sit and reflect for a moment and figure out, am I protecting myself? Am I putting up walls? Or am I hindering myself? Am I damaging so much of the work that I've put in to get there? Right? Here we go again. Think about Rocky up those steps. Things like that. Mel G, you're telling me all this stuff, not to do this, not to do that. And I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you to find your why. I want you to tell your story in your way, in your voice, in your words. Not because you see Cheerlebrity do this, not because you see Mike Tyson do this, not because you see Rocky run up and down those stairs. I want you to dig deep and find what works for you. So how the hell do I do that? How do I master the art of low-key winning without feeling like I need to prove anything? Well, I want to share the pop culture story because I have been down the rabbit hole of Miss Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. They have mastered the art of low-key winning. Holy shit. They came out of nowhere with this engagement, with this romance, with this album that is giving me life. Oh my God, it's such a cool universal album. Selena Gomez is back. I'm not even her biggest fan, but let me tell you what. Homegirl grabbed her rare beauty and said, let's get to work. Came out with this album with her fiance, and they've got such a great love story. I feel like it's the classic, like, and I'm gonna, like, ugly guy gets the pretty girl, or nerdy guy gets the pretty girl. The last guy finished last, right? Or last guy finished first? I don't know. Last guy finished first. Anyways, that doesn't make sense. Okay, come on, Mel, get it together. But they disrupted the norms a little bit. I think for so long we've seen Selena Gomez kind of get kicked around, name rubbed in the dirt. You know, only murders in the building is but she still was so low key about everything. Even the interviews and little things they do today is so low key that you just fall in love with it. They're not out there on People magazine covers every 10 seconds. They're not calling TMZ on their own. They're just doing them. They're living in their bubble, and we're all here for it. That is mastering the art of Loki winning, and they're doing it. Perfect example. And I'd love to know what you think about this album. I think it's great. It brings me back. It brings me joy. Anyways, we'll talk about it in the comments section. But that is it. That's being that G in lasagna. They're killing it. So, shout out to Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. So, setting internal goals versus external validation. Set your goals. Figure out ways to measure them. In my mini episode, we talked about journaling. We talked about movie montages. We talked about finding a low key spot where you can just kind of visualize yourself being the moment, being the main character. Those are kind of things that we don't need that external validation, but you just feel good in that moment doing it. When you journal, you can look back 5 years, 5 days, 3 days, 24 hours and say, look how far I've come. Even if it's just been 8 hours, I get the, little Apple Watch on my notification like every 8 hours or so. That's like, how are you feeling today? This morning I could have started off terrible, but when I checked on it, oh, hey, my heart rate slowed down, my breathing got controlled, and I'm feeling a lot better now. Those are ways we don't have to seek that external validation, but you feel good about it inside. And again, if I want your 2 cents, I will ask for it. I'm not ashamed to ask. I will put it out there. But again, your 2 cents ain't paying my bills. Your 2 cents isn't really making me happy and can't buy me bubble gum in the store these days. Remember that? Remember when you can actually go get the zebra stripe gum for like 25 cents? Little single piece. It was real sketch, but some corner stores let you do it. Anyways, your 2 cents ain't getting me nothing. So if I want it, I'll ask for it. There's no other way to put it. If I want it, I'll ask for it. And do we really need 150,000 followers to validate how we're feeling? No. I will tell you when we start getting into crazy numbers, and again, I hope I get into crazy numbers. I hope we get to build a community where people feel great about themselves and can feel validated within themselves. I hope we can build that. I hope we can talk about these things. But at what point are these 150,000 people really going to care about me? Really going to care about what's going on? Remember that Mama Roo quote, how am I going to love somebody else, right? So think about it. Is more followers making you happy? Do those things. Journal, take a walk, create a killer playlist, watch Coachella on your sofa, build your own damn fort, do what you want to do. Yeah. So how do we celebrate our own progress without an audience? So I already kind of told you about that, looking back at your journals, looking back at your videos, maybe looking back at your content. Maybe it's just checking the goals off your list. Maybe you've gotten through 5 on your list. It's a great way to celebrate. You've made progress. Even if it's just that 1% every day. Even if it's that Mamba mentality. Kobe told us about it. 1% improvement every single day. Maybe yesterday I could only do 10 push-ups. And maybe a week from now I can do 20. That's great. Maybe I've journaled about it. And that's a way to measure that project. Now, here's one of my favorite things to do without an audience. And sometimes I'll post it. You might have seen some of them. Having a freaking dance party in my living room, in my movie room. I love to put on the Eras Tour movie and just go to town. I'm right back there in that stadium in New Orleans, and I'm jamming out with 60,000 of my girlfriends and boyfriends, and we're just dancing and trading bracelets and having a good time. That's a great way to celebrate. It's a great way to pat myself on the back. I love having a solo dance party. One of my other favorite things is just treating myself. Yes, you heard me. Treat yourself. Go get a scoop of ice cream. Go buy a new shirt. Go buy a new pair of pants. Treat yourself. Weight loss journey, right? I've been talking about it. Maybe I'll go and get a new outfit. That's celebrating my success without having an audience. I fit into smaller clothes. Hallelujah. But I don't need to have 150,000 of my followers come with me to Old Navy and in that fitting room. Nope, I have a solo dance party in that fitting room by myself, and I can hear the little attendant giggling a little bit, and now I've made somebody else smile. That is celebrating success without an audience. Just treat yourself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Grab that cup of coffee. And yes, we are counting down the days, y'all, for Easter when Lent is over, and I have made 40 days and 40 nights without coffee. So I will be treating myself to a cup of Java. Hallelujah. Amen. So we've gone here. We've talked about the art of winning. We've talked about how you can feel successful. Now I want you to go. Go journal. Go find a way to measure your success. Maybe go look back at your content. Maybe, I don't know, do something for yourself. Look at the big picture. Deep dive within yourself and validate how you feel with yourself. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Anyways, so glad you were here with me today. Let's keep on winning. Let's keep on thriving.